Okay, so I'm going to be measuring this antenna that I picked up at the hamfest a couple weeks back. So the reason why I wanted it was because of this little guy, the 4-to-1 Ballon. And you can see that there's twin lead line coming out of it, so it's already attached in this W3 Echo Delta Papa configuration. But what I wanted to do, you can see the twin lead goes all the way up to here, and then at this point right here, the radiator, this black wire here, is attached to one leg of the twin lead, and the other one is just left. And you can see I've been measuring it all the way out there. So the dimensions then for this thing is the twin lead line is a little over 16 feet. The rest of it is 66 feet. So the total length is just over 82 feet. Now, when W3 EDP was doing his experiments back in 1936, he found that a length of 84 feet was optimal for him, but with a tuner, of course, this should work just fine, and indeed that's what the guys are saying on the internet. So the next thing I need to do here is get this sucker up there in the trees. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so what I'm going to do here, I've set this up like this. So I'm just going to show you how quick and easy it is to set up the spider beam. So stay tuned. Okay, so here we are again. Right, so this is pretty solid. There's no wind here, and of course I've just done this loosely. If it was more of a permanent situation, or if I was doing field day or something, or camping, I'd make sure the pegs were driven in better and so on, but that's pretty good. As you can see, it goes right up into the trees. And in this property, this is entirely stealth. I put this near a tree, and unless, well, you know, the green stands out a bit, but you could strap it to a tree with some brown wraps, and no one would know the difference. Now, this is up 40 feet. What I'm going to do, though, is lower it down to about 20 feet and attach the end of the twin feed line to the top, and then I'm going to throw the radiator, the antenna part, up into that tree there. I'll see how far I can get it up, and then operate a bit from the deck today because it's such a beautiful day. So let's do that. So I did a couple things. I've reinforced the pegs. Now they're in there. That sucker's not going anywhere. That's in good. And I collapsed the pole down. You can see, let me just get this up for you. In this particular version of the spider beam, there's a little eyelet right there. It's not in great focus, but I'm going to attach my zip tie to this part. See right here where the twin feed line attaches to the radiator. I'm going to attach that part right to the eyelet there, so that the twin feed actually slides down the pole. You'll see that. I'll put it up about 20 feet or so for this experiment. So you can see there's a fair amount of bend at the top of the pole. Okay. Can you see that? Yeah, let me get right up next to the pole. You can see it. There's a bit of a bend up there at the top. It's because of the weight on it, but that's completely normal. In fact, you want the flex in there so that in a windstorm, you've got some flexibility in your antenna so it doesn't snap. So what I'm just going to do though is bring this up here, and I'm just going to tape it to the pole here, so that a bit of the strain is relieved for this. So I'll just do that right now. Okay, the other thing I want to show you is on the balun, the outer cable, or one side of the twin lead goes to the ground pin. The red one is for the radiator. That's where the antenna is, the single wire that goes up. And I've got an SO239 on the bottom to plug into the coax. And we should be good to go. So now the next thing I need to do is get the other end of the wire up into that leviathan of a tree. Let's go see what we can do. Let's see what kind of damage I can do to the neighbor's yard. So here's the crazy ass thing about this. You know, I thought I was just chucking it up here into this tree, but if you look carefully, it went way over there. You can see the branches moving. Do you see that? Right by the pine. So I'm going to try and get it out, but I think it's stuck. So that was really bad. Yeah, I had to give it a big yank there because it was my sinker was stuck in the top of the tree, and so I gave it a big yank and broke the line, and so anyway, I heard it drop on someone's deck, so that was not so good. But fortunately, I've got another sinker, and I'm going to try this one again. Okay, let's get back to the show here. All right, so this time I did get it. Sorry for the sun. I got it over a clump of bushes there. See, there's a little sinker. So that's what I'm going to attach now to the end of the radiator, and then just reel it up into the tree and tie it down. We'll see what happens. It's just temporary, of course, just for testing. All right, let's see what we got here. So at the end of the day, that branch that I had up there, it wasn't hooked on well enough, so I ended up slinging with my hand, underhanded, slinging a rock up as high as I could go, and it actually went pretty high. So I don't know if you can see the radial. I think you can just see where it's up there, maybe a little bit, but it's actually not quite enough distance, so we'll have to see how this loads up. But anyway, there we go, the W3 EDP long wire antenna. Next thing I'm going to do is set it up there on the deck, and tune it up and work some stations. So just as an example, if you check out the SWR, so now I've got the VE3 Golden Kilowatt tuner here, and you can see the SWR. Let's just check it out. 1.1 to 1 in the CW. Let's go up to the phone band. Right up in the phone, we'll just do a quick test here. 1.1 to 1, all good. So I really had to move my dial here, but that's a great old boat anchor tuner. Tunes a lot of stuff. And on 80 meters, got a lot of noise at this time of day. Let's see what the SWR is. 1.1 to 1. Looking good. Now I'm going to check out 15 meters and maybe the work bands as well, and then I'll put a chart together to show what I can do here. Okay, so after here, let me put that back on. Well, 20 meters is just all kinds of activity on there today. So I'm gonna get back to it here, make some contacts. I was able to tune this antenna on most of the bands. So 40 meters was fine, 20 meters, about 1.5 was about the best I could get. Tuned up on the rest of them except for 15. For some reason didn't like that, but I'll keep trying. But you can see the SWR is like at max 1.5 on 20 meters, so I'm really happy with that antenna. And if you look, like, okay, so there's the one end of it. Remember, it's only going up 20 feet. Now what I'm thinking is I'm going to extend that to 40 feet. I'll move the spider beam back over by the chimney, and then run the radial over the roof and into that tree. So that's the setup I was hoping for with the high-end fed wire from Holland. But it looks like I just saved myself a pile of dough. So I'm going to get back to it here and have some fun on CW. That's it for today.